I'm waking up to you every day.
But your ex is getting the same benefits she's getting without having to put up with your attitudes, your moves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you like to think you're perfect, but
I know I mess up.
Yeah, so you got one that's in the house that's paying the price to be able to, enjoy your ability to provide. Then you have the other one, y'all are not together for a reason, or she left for a reason, and still benefiting from you without the commitment. That is a huge issue, particularly for your new relationship.
We go back to childhood and everything, right? We don't see no successful relationship. I have no one, like my grandma and grandpa, I never seen them kiss, never seen them sleep in the same room. I'm 32. My mom and dad, I told my dad to divorce my mom 50 times in the last 10 years. The people that I seen that I thought that was...
Welcome back to the pod. This is season 2, episode 1. Happy New Year, everyone. I wish you all the best in 2026. Now, we had an amazing season 1. Over 50 episodes recorded, over 50,000 downloads. I am grateful to you for showing up, and I promise to keep delivering. Now, when we ended season 1, I told you to stay put because we're going to have a hell of a show to start off the new season. And as promised, there it is. Now, stay with me because this story kind of bounces back and forth a little bit, and it might be a little bit confusing in the very beginning, but just like a Black Mirror episode on Netflix, it comes together and you'll get it. You're about to hear the incredible accounts of a guy who is more than a friend, is more like a brother to me. He has done and he continues to do all that he can to be the best, the most present father a man can be. But his ex, well, she more than benefits from his generosity. I'll leave it up to you to see where boundaries were crossed or even if they were established in the first place. He has a new relationship and things kind of get muddy. Now, I know his heart. So on this panel, we have Simone Santana, the host of the Dear God Let Us Pray podcast. We have my friend Darren Tate, an extremely bright and wise individual. And we kind of let him have it. But are we right? Is it fair? Because you see, my brother James stepped up. He did something that's extremely courageous by coming on this platform to talk about his mistakes, his story, and hopefully it helps someone else. As men, how far are we willing to go to meet our obligations when it comes to our kids? As a woman, what are your expectations when it comes to your ex in regards to your kids? Welcome to Manhood Matters. Let's get to it.
In the living room, finds his voice. 4 souls gathered, making a choice. Speak of life's great news, sugar to cope. From a black man's lens, each word a keynote. Mental storms, physical strife, hustling hard, the pulse of life, race love, and the entrepreneurs climb real tall echoes and find time.
So welcome to the pod, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Your story is one that I've been wanting to tell for a very, very long time. And the main reason is there's a lot of guys out there who have good guy syndrome. And we get called different types of names. But when there's a situation to when there is an ex, and there's a situation where there are children involved with the ex, you could cut that off anytime, you move on and whatever. But when there are children involved, it's very difficult to not do certain things for them. But it's also very difficult to justify the length through which you're going to do certain things, make it make sense for the rest of the world and the new person in your life. So I'm joined today by the ever so lovely Simone Santana.
Hello, hello.
All right. We got DT, Darren Tate, up in the building. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, man, that voice. You should do your own podcast, bro.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a long time.
Man,
Too much work for me.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but you got that radio voice. And we have James, who's going to tell us his story. Jump right into it, because I'm dying to hear this. Kind of tell us where you are now, and we'll talk about what led to it.
Yeah, so right now I've been officially divorced since March,
Officially.
for the third time from the same woman.
What? I don't wait.
Yes.
So you're gonna have to start. Let's just start there.
Yeah, so I was deployed 2020 during COVID. Sent her $3,000 to do the divorce paperwork. We broke up beforehand. I don't know too much about divorce. I give her the money. I'm thinking everything done. Come back. Oh, I'm not divorced. Fast forward from 2021 all the way to 2023. Filed for divorce papers again, December 28th. But it was during that Christmas time, so it wasn't until January the 7th, 2024, when they actually filed the paperwork. I get the alert that it filed. I think everything good. I ended up moving to Florida, moving her and the kids to Florida.
Okay, let's stop there. Okay, so before you go into you move her and the kids to Florida,
You confused on how I wasn't divorced after that time.
yeah.
So I didn't know I wasn't divorced again, right? I didn't find out that I wasn't divorced until she up and took the kids out of Florida one day. And I'm like, okay, I got to get a lawyer.
Okay, so then I guess for the story to make sense, tell us, I guess, go from where you moved her to Florida.
Yeah.
So you moved to Florida and you decide to move her to Florida, and why?
Yes, so I had a son on the way when I came up with the idea.
Say what?
My third son, he was coming, right?
So with her, you have 2 children.
Yes, with her, I have 2. And then with the woman I'm with right now, I have 2.
Okay.
So 2024, I'm about to have my third son. My
Okay.
thought process is I grew up in a household with my father. Even though we grew up in the same household, we wasn't like, I don't remember him throwing me the football and things like that, right? He wasn't in the same for my games and stuff. So my thought process was I can't be there for this new child and not be there for them. Because at that point, they would live in Jackson, Mississippi area. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to move them to Florida so I can give them access to the same resources that my youngest at that time were going to have.
That makes sense to you, Darren, so far?
I'm following. I'm trying to capture his thought process.
Yeah.
I can definitely see the good guy syndrome.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, you know, just looking at it. I'm thinking in the future, I don't want my kids to be like, oh, we don't like you, talking about my youngest son because you had daddy and everything and we didn't.
So let me ask you this. Why you didn't just claim for the children? Why you didn't try to get custody?
So,
Good luck with that shit, bro.
yeah,
Good luck with that
it don't work that way. You know, when we get to that point in the conversation of the whole courts and all, is like, mentally I knew that, you know, from what we see as a black man, as a man itself, I wasn't about to win in court, right? Before that, I would deploy for a year, so she had the kids. When we split, I was traveling around working, like me and Stephon were working together and it was traveling. So I wasn't there and we wasn't together. So like she had the kids. So it wasn't a thing that she wasn't a good mom. Just in my eyes, she just wasn't a good person. So taking the kids away from her, hurting in that way, that's something that I didn't want to do because I don't want it done to me. So like, you know what? Let me find a way. I believe in win-win situations. Let me find a way that the kids can win, I can win, she can win as well. That's why Florida was the idea. Who don't like Florida?
Yeah. Florida is nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So up to this point, you moved to Florida. You're about to have your third child with your current woman. All right. And you want to make sure that the other 2 boys with your ex don't feel like, hey, we don't have access to dad. He's not around. So you decide to move everyone to Florida.
Absolutely.
She's in the same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood. 16 houses down.
16 houses down.
Yeah, so the thought process was, you know what? I don't, again, going back to how the kids think, right? I don't want the kids to say, hey, we like daddy house because daddy house got so much stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So my thought process was, you know what? I'm going to make the houses identical. So I got a 5-bedroom house. She got one. The only difference is in mine, the master bedroom was downstairs. In hers, she had all 5 bedrooms upstairs. I went to Best Buy, got my washer and dryer. She got identical washer and dryer.
Yeah.
The TVs, identical. Same amount of TV. The only difference is I don't do TVs in my bedroom. So she had one more TV than I did, right? So we got the TVs, you know.
Oh, shit.
That's how it works. So, I mean, it went all the way down to furniture. We got the furniture from the same place. I got my furniture. I FaceTime her. I show her like the bed says. She pick what she want. We were good. You know, I move into my house in April. The kids finished school at the end of May. Went down there, got their stuff, put everything in the house. They came. We were good. I thought, you know, it was like a little community thing, you know. So
Sister-wise situation.
Nah. I knew that.
No,
wasn't
not
gonna
that.
work. I knew that wasn't going to work, you know. With the ex, and then, like, you know, my girl's military. So she had that. She got that.
Your current.
Yes.
Military.
Yeah, so she got that alpha dog in her. Mm-hmm. And then she's from Fraser. So
Yeah, so that's a double whammy right there.
yeah.
So how's she feeling about all this? You're doing all this. Your woman is watching you do all this for your ex. Because as a guy, I'm looking at it like, dude, you can do for your children, right? By proxy, the ex is going to benefit from that.
Correct.
But there's a limit. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I may move you down, but you don't need to be in my neighborhood. You could be, it's just you and 2 children, and the boys are young enough, they're probably going to end up sharing a room anyway. You don't need 5 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms more than fine, even if they each had their own bedroom. You're going to get a washer dryer. You don't have to get the one that my wife picked, you know, top of the line and everything, TVs. I'm thinking as long as I provide to a certain level, I don't have to do all of this, and I'm still showing up for my children, and they still have access to me and all of that. What made you go to that extreme? Was it something from, like you said, from earlier, from your own childhood, where you felt like, hey, my dad was there, because to this day, you and your dad are close, and you were raised in the house with him, and I know a lot of men who weren't, so you kind of feel like there was an absence even though he was there.
Right.
Did that play a part in it?
Yeah. So it was a fact that, you know, they never been to an NFL game. There ain't no NFL team in Florida. I mean, in Mississippi. So like, you know,
There's nothing in Mississippi.
It's nothing. So even from the
team.
education side
No
of
baseball.
thing, and
They don't got hockey.
nothing.
Nah.
I mean, where we at in Tampa area, we got hockey, we got baseball, we got soccer, we got everything.
Yeah.
And my kids, my oldest, he was playing soccer, and he loved Messi. So, and Messi was in Miami. Mm-hmm. So it was like we had, to me, Florida was a gateway. You know, I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking down the future and all. And I understand, you know, I know mostly every guy I know, they take care of their kids from afar. They in those type of situations, but you know, I was already dealing with a toxic woman in a way where she was feeding my kids with information that wasn't true, right? And the only way, I got that thing where it's hard for me to defend myself. Like, you're gonna believe it, I'm gonna move how I move. But can't do that with kids. And it's hard to battle mama in that situation when you're not around. So the only way I knew for me to show the kids who I truly was, they had to be in proximity. They had to see me interact, right?
Yeah.
Seeing me and their mom interact. Remember, we wasn't together no more for a reason. The things that they seen how we interact is not what I want them to see how we interact, right? How love's supposed to be and stuff. So growing up, my mom and dad argue all the time. Mm-hmm. So once that argument got to a certain level, I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gone. So I wanted them to be able to see that love do exist, and daddy wasn't this guy, right, that mom trying to portray him out to be. I also needed less friction for this to work, right? So it couldn't be, hey, I'm in this little 2-bedroom apartment and look at you living your good life on top of the hill looking down. So I try to make it as easy as possible to, you know, the guy we used to work with, Wilmar, he used to say the best suggestions are the ones you know they're coming, right? Mm-hmm. I look at it, okay, she can say this, she can say this, she can say this. I eliminate everything she can come up with. So if it don't work, it's not because of me. So I literally had that conversation with her. I said, hey, don't be the reason why Florida don't work. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure it works. I feel though I did that and it still failed.
I do have a question though. Well, first and foremost, I do believe that you bring the family down. I do commend you on that.
Thank you.
I most definitely see the thought process on that, and I'm saying that as a mom myself. I guess for me, the disconnect was everything seems centered around materialism. So, like, do you feel as if there was some sort of validation because of the things you purchased, or was it still based on like that proximity of having your children around?
Yeah, so for my kids, it was other than the material thing. However, she my ex. I don't owe her any emotions or anything like that. Only thing I can provide her is material.
Right, but you were talking about like, you got this kind of washer and dryer in your household. You got the exact same, for your ex, like.
Yes, yeah. So the reason for that is 'cause at some point I knew it was gonna be a walk in the house type of thing, right? And I wanted when she come in, I didn't want to create that jealousy of the lifestyle, right? And that's what the main thing. So if you got the same thing I have, you can't be jealous of what I have.
Did she ever get jealous? Because that still doesn't sound.
I mean, she left for a reason.
I mean, it sounds, like jealousy still can be created in that kind of space. I was just wondering, like, especially thinking from the perspective of your current woman, like you getting this, you getting this lady
So
everything we got up in our house kind of thing.
I was thinking like the same thing, and perhaps we're jumping too far ahead in your story, but as your new wife, I can just only but imagine there's nothing special that you've done for her when you're doing the same thing over here.
So we had that conversation. We literally did, and again, I was thinking from a selfish place in the beginning. I was just thinking about I just need my kids. Like, the kids first, everything else gonna fall into place. So I remember I think we were in Nashville and we was shopping, and I was buying the kids some clothes because I told them, hey, it won't cost too much money to transfer everything from Mississippi. Just throw it all away. I'll get y'all some new clothes when y'all come to Florida. And we were shopping, and I told her, like, hey, I'm gonna have to give her some money so she can get some new clothes. And she was like, and so basically what you just said, she said the same thing. She looked at me and said, I'm concerned because there ain't no difference. I don't know how to differentiate between us. Right. I'm sitting
That's
there
valid
like,
for sure.
I'm in the house, like my thought process, I'm in the house with you. I'm waking up to you every day.
But your ex is getting the same benefits she's getting without having to put up with your attitudes, your moods, or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you like to think you're perfect, but
I know I mess up.
Yeah, so you got one that's in the house that's paying the price to be able to, enjoy your ability to provide. Then you have the other one, that, like you've said it like 3 times, y'all are not together for a reason, or she left for a reason, and still benefiting from you without the commitment. That is a huge issue, particularly for your new relationship.
Like, I understand that, the ex would benefit, because of the things that you're doing for your kids. But the buying her clothes, oh.
Well, I would give her money, so it wasn't like I was
even
sitting.
worse, the same thing as me smoke.
Hey, so, we go back to childhood and everything, right? I would just talk to my cousin the other day, and I told her, like, we don't see no successful relationship. I have no one, like, my grandma and grandpa, I never seen them kiss, never seen them sleep in the same room. I'm 32. My mom and dad, I told my dad divorced my mom 50 times in the last 10 years. So it like, the people that I seen that I thought that was happy and married, they divorced now. I don't have no blueprint, right?
What does that have to do with you and your ex? Because the blueprint that maybe you're forging it yourself. Yeah. It has to do with you and your current wife, not you and your ex, I guess. And I remember this conversation because you and I talked about this maybe a couple of years ago, where you were telling me what you're about to do. What'd I tell you?
You told me I was dumb.
Don't do that shit, man.
Hey, luckily my girl wasn't yours.
I swear to God. Because
that Jamaican would have killed me.
yeah. Well, I think anybody else would have killed you, bro.
No, I most definitely would have killed you.
Yeah. And she's from Memphis too.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is this, right? Because the thing is this, and there's a piece of me that really, really understands, right? Because as a father, and I have exes with children, it's hard to explain it to anyone else that I'm doing this for my kids. And then we justify certain things that we do that are not really appropriate, or we don't have to go as far. But in the moment when we're doing it, we feel like I'm doing this for my child because my child is going to be traumatized and this is what I want them to see. And I would do stuff like that, not anywhere close to what you did. I think you took it to the next level when you were like, no. Because again, if I get you a house because I want to be in the same state with my children, and I get you over to the next city, that's close enough. That's good enough. I can drive 40 minutes. In fact, I prefer you about an hour away. Right? And that's cool because I don't want my wife jogging in the neighborhood and your ass is outside. I don't need that to happen. Yeah, I know it happens, right? So that's going to happen because they're on the same street. So that's already uncomfortable. Then when it comes to the things that I buy, I'll buy everything for my kids. I'll do everything for them. I don't care if you're on your last pair of underwear. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not buying the woman anything. So I think that's kind of where you crossed the line a bit, in my opinion.
I agree. And it's I'm in sales. And in sales, it's, I got, and at that time, I'm at the peak. I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. I'm making more money than some families members combined, and also I'm high right now, right? And I probably had like that little God complex at that point, man. If I put my mind to it, I can make anything happen. I can make it work. I had delusional belief that anything that I thought I can make come true, right? So my whole thing was I wanted a community. I just wanted this ideal of a family that I knew I wasn't able to have. However, I'm like, I might as well give it a try, And like I said, I'm just now understanding like I created more problems. I would better ways I should have done things. I should have kept everything separated, and maybe we'd be in a better spot today. However, everything happened for a reason,
Yeah, always, right? And the reason is you learned a lot.
Yeah, well, but I learned I wasn't divorced. Yeah, so so here we are. May was great. June, I tell her that right now I'm working off these custody papers from the second divorce I thought I had, right? And we said I'm supposed to have the kids during the summer and stuff, but no need. Right down the street from each other. Yeah. So I have a conversation. Let's go and do joint custody. You keep them for a week, I get them for a week. Wednesday to Tuesday. We do it like that. We pick them up from school on Wednesday. We do the trade-off, right? So we were doing...
Identical houses. Kids won't even know the difference.
Hey, the only difference is in their rooms were a little different. Like they had the stuff at theirs, but it was up to her to decorate. But we decorate theirs a little bit. My son, he wanted to do a podcast. So he got a gaming computer. He had a whole setup in the house and all. And then my 6-year-old, he got a little race car bed. He had behind him, he had like a little license plate with a name on it. Love it. Dope. But so we did all that. Then certain issues kept popping up, right? Things that shouldn't be an issue. I take the boys to try out Taekwondo, and then here we go. How y'all making a decision for my kids? I'm like, what you talking about? My time with the kids, I wanted them to do Taekwondo. I don't need your permission to take them to Taekwondo. So she just started finding little things. And me, I'm a businessman. So when they were at the house, they were with my current. And I'm gone. Because they can be in their house, and then she would teach them how to cook. She would teach them how to clean. And remember, I've been on the road. It hurt me to know that at that time, he was 9 at that time. He didn't know how to tie his shoe. I didn't know he didn't know how to tie his shoe. So my current's sitting there teaching him how to tie his shoe. And he go home and he called me like, Mama showed me a different way to tie my shoe. And I'm sitting there like, You been in that house for 9 years and you know how to tie your shoe. Now she got a different way. So it's like little things like that, you know. It was the phone calls or the text. I don't want my kids in the kitchen cooking. Why not? They love cooking. And it ain't like they pouring the grease in the deep fry. It ain't back in the day where we got the little hot skillet we pouring the grease in, throwing chicken in. We got air fryers. There's no grease. Like, cooking is safe these days. You know, don't want to use a knife, but they cutting up tomato with butter knives and all. Then, you know, I'm military, so I wanted my kids to have some type. I go into their home in Mississippi. I seen how it was looking. I like, nah, not here. So I got them cleaning up behind themselves. They little boy, they pissing all on the toilet and stuff. I go in there and see it. Oh, nah. Here go this Clorox wipe, get the cleaning and all. They tell their mama, Daddy make me clean. I don't want my kids looking in the chemicals and stuff like that. Go somewhere, right? So it kept on being more and more stuff. So fast forward to around July. I'm telling her that, hey, you got 2-3 months in. You ain't got no job yet. You need to be getting a job. I put some fire on her. I said...
By the way, did you get her a car as well with the house?
So I didn't get a car with the house, but I did help her get a car.
What does that mean?
So 2023, the car that she had when we were together got totaled out, right? Her mom and dad said, we ain't helping you get no car. It's his kids, he can help you. All right, so I'm not there. My kids got to get to school. So I had to co-sign on them for a car, right? So she did have a car, had my name on it, all, and I was paying the car note. She haven't had a job since 2023.
You paying the car note?
Yeah, I was paying the car note. All right, but at this time...
She is living the life.
She was. You know, and that's why I thought stuff to be easy. I heard how single mothers was and all that, how they were with the kids and how they were struggling and stuff like that. I'm like, you shouldn't complain. You nowhere near all of that. But here we are. I'm telling her she got paid $700 a month, and she buck hard.
On a house that has a rent of like $3,000, car note, phone bills paid off.
So I told her
no
she had
bills.
to pay half of her car note.
Okay.
I told her she had to pay her car insurance, her phone bill. That came out to be $700. Total. Right now, she live with her parents and her nan. No, she paid her parents $600 to live with them. Right? I said $700. All I wanted. I was gonna pay the rent, the bills, and all to get you a job. $700. You can save. You can do what you need to do. I'm gonna put you in position. I ain't gonna make. I had you move to Florida. I know the cost of living a little bit higher. I know you don't got the degrees and stuff like that to get a high paying job. I'm not gonna put all this on you. I'm still do my piece. She buck on that, and next thing you know, it was the kids started going to school. Down there, then it was my day to pick them up from school because they're going to be with me the night before. I'm on the phone with my oldest. We talking about Taekwondo because he supposed to be getting his white belt that day. My youngest, my middle one, he had already got his white belt the week prior. So he like, I get my white belt today. He practiced on it. He sent all his numbers and stuff in Korean. He practicing. He ready. So I'm like, yep, I'm gonna come pick you up after school. We gonna practice a little bit. You gonna get that white belt today, right? I get a phone call from my cousin because we had a little carpool thing. So it was her week. She was taking the kids to school. My cousin had a 8-year-old son, and she called and said, hey, she didn't come pick up my son today. I'm like, what time is it? Oh man, they must have overslept. I said, don't worry about it. Take care of it. Go be on the door. No answer. I'm not paying attention to nothing that's going on. Calling like, man, they must be in there asleep. So I had the garage door opener for the thing. She was like, go get the garage door open. Go get them up. They don't need to be missing school and all that. I'm like, all right, done deal. No, I'm calling the phone. No answer. No, done deal. I go get the garage door opener. I open up the garage. You know, when you open the garage, you can see there's a car in there before you even go all the way up, right? I said, oh, it's no car. She must have just left when I left. She must have just left, dropped the kids off, you know, and all. So I'm like, we good. But as I'm closing up, man, I'm on the phone with my cousin the whole time. As I'm closing the door to the garage, you know, the little liquid laundry detergent. It was one of them on the ground that was crushed, like it been ran over and got the laundry detergent running out of it. I'm like, hold on, Bianca. something wrong. She's like, what? I said, I don't know, something wrong. Something don't look right. Then I look up, now I'm paying attention. I look up, I see the containers that they had some stuff in that I brought when they moved, sitting in the garage empty. I'm like, nah, something ain't right. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, go in the house. Soon I turn that corner, in school they got these little binders. Both of the boys' school binders is sitting on the kitchen table. I'm like, their binders here. I don't think they went to school. I turn the corner like a little end table. They be in the little hallways, sitting right there. My current girl, when Patrice moved down there, she had bought her, like, how female give them like little gift baskets. It's sitting up there. Both of the boys.
Your current girl gave her a gift basket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like a welcome home type of thing. Like she
was really doing a lot for you.
Yeah, hey,
when I tell you she was doing all this shit for you,
she put her best foot forward. Three
best feet forward.
Hey, so we sitting there, and I'm on the phone with my cousin, and the kids, they had air tags inside their backpack. So I'm looking at the air tags sitting on the table, and I'm telling my cousin, I said, they gone. She's like, what? I said, she done took the kids. And I run upstairs, because at that point, they got a dog. And I'm like, the dog ain't came to me yet, nothing like that. So now everything clicking to me real time. I run upstairs, it's like clothes on the floor. I'm looking, like, yo, they gone. I'm like, what's going on?
So describe the scene. So is it all chaotic, like she ran away type stuff? Because the way you're describing it sounds like she had to run out in the middle of the night.
No, it was calculated. To have the air tags, to have the gift baskets and stuff sitting right there like that, It would calculate, like, I want you to see this. It like the thought process was, I'm gonna come through the front door and see it, but I don't have access to the front door. I only had the garage door opener. So when I seen that, it was perfectly sage for it was like a fuck you, like, got your ass.
Yeah.
So here I am sitting there like, oh man, I'm about to break down. But at this point, I'm like, nah, I don't know how long they left. I can catch them. So I'm trying to figure it out. I call her mama. Mama don't answer. Call her daddy. He sent me the voicemail. I said, nah. Call her mama again. No answer. I'm sitting there. I call the police because at this point, I'm like, nah, they don't know nothing. I'm going to just say, hey, I got some kids missing and all. Police tell me there ain't nothing they can do. I'm sitting there like...
Why not? You said kids are missing. Why not? Because they're with their mom, or
because they're with their mom and all.
A civil.
Yep.
It's considered a civil issue, right?
They don't get involved. I'm sitting there like, why do I get Amber alerts? Like I'm saying like, what all this stuff I get, I want it right now. So we had a joint bank account that she forgot that we had a joint. That's back when we were together.
Okay, I'm gonna say, God.
No. It was back when we were together.
It gets better.
But y'all know how joint bank accounts work, right? So when you logging in, you do your stuff, it only have your name on it. So she forgot that I had access to that account. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, she got to get gas somewhere. Then boom, she got gas in Tallahassee, 4 hours away. So I'm like, all right, I'm calling Tallahassee police. I'm like, hey, it was just here. I'm trying. Then her mama called. Pissed me off.
You don't know this dude, right? I'm going to tell you something about James right now. James is the most stoic, poised, almost unemotional dude I know. So I can hear the panic in your voice even as you're saying it now. And that's probably the fastest you've ever moved.
Oh, facts. At this point, I'm still in the garage. I ain't left the garage at this point. Yeah. You know, I have even, at this point, my girl, she don't even know what's going on because I'm too busy focused on the issue itself. So, so I'm sitting there like, all right, they in Tallahassee. I'm calling them like, hey, go get it. Then her mom called. I said, where Patrice? She gone with the kids and all. And she was like, oh, yeah, they on their way here. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what's going on? Like, me and her mom had just talked. And the craziest piece of it is, like, her mom, a week before, 2 weeks straight, I was trying to set up a call with her mom, come telling her, hey, Patrice spiraling a little bit. Like, I can see it, right? And her mom was talking about, me and her mom were talking about suicide and stuff. And when her mom brought up the word suicide, I said, I'm glad you said it. I did not want to say anything about it because she tried to pull that when I was deployed, right? It was like a quick Facebook post that my cousin seen and he sent it to me all. her parents were at the house. She was outside on the trampoline, and she made a little Facebook post about ending her life and stuff. And at this point, I'm concerned because, you know, like, even though I have no emotional ties to you, if you hurt yourself, my kids are gonna be devastated. So I'm like, I don't want them to have to deal with that pain. And like you said, I'm not that emotional. I can't nurture my kids through that. Like, I don't have the tools inside of me to be like, it's okay. I'm just not capable. I
don't think most people would, but it's you really are self-aware, you know, to know that, because it's not an easy thing to deal with.
No, so
it wouldn't be, I should say.
Yeah, so, you know, her mom was telling her, said that, yeah, she said that you were mistreating her and all. I'm saying, like, I'm mistreating her. Yeah, you ain't giving her no money, you letting them starve and everything. So they go back to the reason why I needed my kids with me, because of things she feed to people. And, like, I done had to go through so many lies with people dealing with her and everything. So I'm sitting there like, all I asked her to do was get a job and pay $700 a month. Like, everything else paid for. I'm not mistreating. I'm just not about to give you money to go shopping, partying, and all that, because that's not my job. Now, I understand I did a lot that I probably shouldn't have done, but I did have a limit. Like,
what was it?
Well, I got to say, what was it?
The necessities. Like, can you drive? Can you get around? Can you get gas in your car? Can you feed the kids? Like, you know, like, once I did the initial help to get down there, I pulled all the way back, because at this I did my job. Right, you got the house, you got the water pay, you got the light, you got all of those things. I'm not doing I don't contribute to your day-to-day life, right? I got you your foundation. I'm trying to teach you how to build on that, but you got your foundation that I ain't gonna, you know that no matter how hard life get for you, you're gonna have a roof over your head, the kids ain't, you know, you're gonna be clothed, all those
and she gonna be
like,
clothed.
I mean, she can't be running around here, you know, looking crazy.
So there's a couple things that I hear. Stefan, he mentioned it earlier, like, he commends you. I commend you in putting forth such an effort.
Right.
What was created out of this, it sounds more like you're trying to protect yourself from experiencing certain emotions and feelings, but your kids were the benefactor of you protecting yourself. Not to say that they wasn't your main focus, but I believe they was the secondary, because in this conversation about 3 times you've mentioned about your ex and what you didn't want to go through, what you didn't want to feel, what you didn't want to experience, you know. So to protect you from experiencing those things, you went all out to give her no excuse, but at the same token, it was for you to protect yourself from not experiencing those things, which means you cast it upon your children and put the weight of that whole relationship on them.
I can see that.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah, I can see that, because it was one time, like I said, it was one time we were in a garage and I didn't want to do it. I had to, and every phone call we did from June all the way up to March of this year were recorded. Like, I had over 72-hour recordings, because I had a feeling, right? But I'm in the garage, I'm talking to her because the boys about to go to school. We were getting ready to go to school. The school she wanted them to go to was a school that had 3% blacks. And I'm sitting there like, no.
In Mississippi?
No, in Florida.
Oh, okay.
In Florida, it was 90% white. It was 7% Hispanic, 3% black. And when you look at the 3% black, it was 3 blacks.
Oh my God.
3. And from the grade that my kids were in, it was 2 in my 6-year-old in kindergarten with 2, and with 1 that's gonna be in 4th grade. So I was telling her no. So we got into it on that. I even called her mom because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't there being emotional, doing it for myself and all. And I'm like, I'm seeing these black boys, and my kids didn't grow up in certain private school. You see how I'm dressed and all that. So I understood that they weren't gonna fit in. They were gonna stand out in that pressure, right? And y'all probably can hear I got a speech impediment. I got strong DNA. Both of my kids, they got speech impediments. So I'm sitting there like, I got to protect them from that. They need to be around their people. Their people are going to be, they might still get picked on, right? However, their people will be more lenient than the others. So we get into it. I go meet her in the garage, have the conversation with her. And she says something about some stuff that was going on in my household. I'm like, no, you lying. I know they didn't say that. And she used the fact that I tried to protect the kids by not putting the kids in things as her way to weaponize them, because she know I'm not going to try to put them in our situation. But I had to at that point, because we all in it close-knit, you know. You can't say something about my current girl and say that he said this, because I was there. So I called him out. And I was talking to my oldest, and then my youngest, well, not my youngest, the youngest that I have with her, he just busts out, "Mommy don't like Ashlyn." And I'm like, and she was sitting there like, man, I'm like, "What you say?" And she tries to like talk over him. I start getting panicked. And I said, "What you just say?" She said, "Mom don't like Ashlyn." And I'm like, "How do you know?"
For context, people don't know who that
Oh, yeah,
is.
Ashlyn, the current lady.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, "Mom be walking around the house talking to friends, just saying it nonstop." Right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the thing that she said, my son said he wasn't comfortable being in my house. He was afraid to talk to me and things like that. And I'm like, ain't no way. I'm there with him. I know our conversations, right? And so I asked him, like, tell me what's going on. Why you say that to Mom? He said, "I didn't say that to Mom." He looked in her eye. "I didn't say that to Mom." And he said, "What I said was," and he a little smart ass.
Yeah.
So at this point, you lying on me now. I'm about to, he like, I got permission now. So like, what I said was, I'd be afraid to have fun and tell you about it while I'm with Daddy. Because I know how that will make you feel.
Wow, how old is this boy?
He was 9. She bust down crying. And I was sitting there like, see what I'm talking about? Like, that infuriated me. I'm sitting there like, when your phone...
break down crying for?
Bro, it's crazy how kids have so much awareness.
Yes.
To say, I'm going to think, because now I'm in a situation where I have to protect my sanity as a child. But I'm going to think for you, the adult, and think for you, the other adult, because you're two fools. And I have to figure out how to work this entire relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
So he having fun with me, but he got to lie to his mom about having fun.
Right. So what's
because he know how his mom feels, and that's a lot for a kid to carry.
Absolutely.
But I most definitely appreciate his awareness.
100%. So like when you said like all of that, she breaking down. To be honest, I couldn't tell you if it were real teary or act. I don't know. Maybe she wanted a little sympathy.
I think, well, I wouldn't even say sympathy. I think sometimes when people are being, when people have ill intent and hear their actions out loud, it's like a smack in the face. Like, you've been having an issue with this. Ain't nobody did nothing to you. You know the environment that you've created for the kids. You know the things that they've heard you say. But to hear that awareness out loud is like conviction. Yeah. I felt like she got convicted in that moment, and that's why she cried, because she knows she wasn't right.
Yeah, so that hurt me. Listen to it.
What you crying for?
Hey, but you gotta understand. Like at this time, I'm mad, and I got the kids out there. It wasn't no moments, and I thought they were like a eye-opening moment that she would, because she said, I'm gonna do better and all that. Done deal. Let me see. Show me. So fast forward to they left.
She's on the road now.
She on the road, and
at that point, they're 4 hours away. You were not trying to catch anybody.
It can't do nothing. I go back to the house. I got to break the news. At that point, Ashlyn, she got a connection. Like that's her cooking buddies. That's her cleaning buddies. I don't cook.
Yeah.
So she was cooking by herself.
It hurts her as well, obviously. Yes.
So she, she way more emotional than me. She built a connection. Like, she was doing the, hey, these my bonus kids type of thing, right, and all of that. And, it was like, hey, y'all like my bonus kids? No, Mommy said you and Daddy ain't married, so you ain't related to us.
Shit.
So you're like, So, it would just keep on trying to keep that peace. And at that point, she broke down. And I'm like, okay, so... That night, I received a phone call from the kids. Wasn't trying to talk to the kids at this point. I'm trying to talk directly to Mommy, right? And I'm like, put your mom on the phone. what's going on? Why you take my kids and all this, right? I can hear her parents in the background. So now she putting it on the show. And I'm sitting there like, all right, you know what's up. I ain't about to play this game. I want my kids back tomorrow in a discussion. Then her mom got on the phone. You ain't about to threaten my daughter and all that. You want to go to court. Done deal. Next day, call a lawyer. Got on the phone with this lawyer, told him what was going on. He said, all right, let me do my research. What county? Because at this point, they wasn't in Florida enough for me to file in Florida. They got to be in Florida for 6 months, right? They left in month 4.5. If she would wait a month and a half, it would have been perfect, right? But now they back in Mississippi. Now we got to do everything through Madison County, which is Jackson, Mississippi. And she in Hernando right now, so she's not even in the county that we got to go to war in. Then I had a meeting the following day with the attorney. And at this point, I got me and Ashlyn sitting next to each other because we, at this point, we about to go to war. We lock on, right? And the attorney said, James, I got some good news. I said, all right, what the good news? I'll take your case. I fight for you. I'll make this happen. Bad news, you're not divorced.
Yeah.
I look at Ashlyn.
What? Oh my God.
So he looking in Madison County. He looking in Rankin County. He looking for the divorce thing. He said, I see where y'all filed for the divorce. However, it's a 30-day rule, right? Mm-hmm. When that 30 days, she canceled the divorce.
It's called a cooling off period.
She canceled it. Yeah. So remember, I ain't have no address at that time when we were going to court. The address was the same house that she was in. So they informed me.
At her house.
At her house. And she never told me this whole time she was in Florida.
You think you're divorced? Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm divorced. She knew. She gonna try to play on me.
But shouldn't you? Okay, listen. You're in the military. You're a smart dude. You run companies. I know you for a while. And not to be too judgy, because right now we're dumping on you.
Hey, it's okay.
But I gotta ask.
I ain't said nothing worse than I heard.
But I gotta ask, because again, I know how smart you are and how thorough you are, because you're also a paralegal in the military. So you do all these things. How come you didn't ask for divorce papers when you thought you were divorced?
So I had divorce papers.
What? Okay.
So so here we go to think. Remember, I told you I'm working off the custody papers work. Once everything got filed, I'm done. I got the stamp on it, everything. I'm done. The problem was the divorce papers they handed to you, right, before the cooling off period.
Sure, but the judge has to sign off on this. Yeah. That's when it's final.
Yeah. So I didn't know.
Okay.
I had the paper, I had the stamp that was filed and all of that. I'm good. Like in my head, I'm good. I was walking everywhere I went. I had that paper. Like that's with my letter of the law. So I'm thinking I'm good.
It's like your freedom papers. Back in the 1800s.
Hey, that was my emancipation. Yeah, they was like yes. Because it was hell. Like it was hell dealing with her through all of it. And I'm sitting there like, Mark, say that again. He said, James, you're not divorced, but I'm gonna take your case. I said,
what's Ashlyn doing at this point? Because you lock arms. Did she let go of your hand?
So I was looking in her face when he said it. I felt everything in her. I couldn't even look in her face. I'm looking at the phone like I'm on FaceTime with Mark. I ain't moving. I ain't budging. I can just feel it. And all. When we got off the phone, she was like, "You're not divorced." I'm like, I'm not divorced. And at this point, okay, so I'm going to war because, at this point now I'm hurt because she knew the whole time, right? She stopped everything from going through and all, and I didn't know. It was like, damn. So now I'm in a financial bind. I'm in emotional bind. I'm in everything, So I'm looking at it. Mark sent me the email, how much it's gonna cost to go to war. Ashlyn asked me a question like, do you really want custody of your kids? I just can't let it be done like this while putting up the fight. So, $67,000, go to court.
And a lot of people don't understand that as far as fighting for them.
Yeah.
Because the idea is, well, I spent enough money. I did all of this. At this point, it's whatever. But I kind of felt the same way. I felt like my kids need to know that I fought for them in that sense. And even though I went in knowing I would lose, and I'm throwing these thousands, all this money at this lawyer, knowing I'm going to lose, but I just needed to document
I didn't
it.
needed a document.
So one day when they go, well, did you even try to get me?
that's
Yeah,
it.
here's a paper showing that I did try.
So, and Mark gave me an out. So Mark said, hey, you got two options. You give me $3,000. I can re-push these papers through, petition, because it's still at the courthouse, right? Because I never did my rebuttal on it. It's like you can, and we still in the same year. Remember, this 2024, the paperwork got filed January the 7th, 2024. Right now we're in September. Like, I can push these papers through. I put these papers through. The papers that you got in front of you right now go into effect, right? I should have done that. Mentally, I probably should have done that because my child support was $200 per kid. I only had to pay for the house in Mississippi, which at that point I already had somebody in there renting, so that's done for, right? So like on financially, that agreement that we did, that was the best. It was 100% a win for me, but I couldn't do it.
Why? I am extremely curious. Like, why couldn't you?
Because it was nothing in that paper. So it's September. The paper, how it was set up, it was also an even year. She get the kids for Christmas, the even year, right? It was nothing for spring break. It was nothing for fall break. Which means right now I'm set up to not seeing the kids again till June.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, and I remember it been since May. I'm with them every single day. So I'm like, nah, I ain't about to let that happen. So we tried to petition the court to allow me to see the kids. Had the kids fly out with me and stuff like that. And they told the judge that they were afraid that if the kids come to Florida, I won't give them back, as if I would do onto her as she did onto me. So they said, yes, you can see your kids. However, you got to be chaperone. She will go, but she will stand back. She won't be there with you, but she will be in the back just to make sure everything good.
Like treating you like you the one that ran off with the kids.
I ain't never been so disrespected in my life. I said no. They said, well, my lawyer told me, you don't do this, I don't know when the next time you're going to see your kids. I said, I'll be damned when they see me like I'm a prisoner, that they mom that I like. That's not the vision I want them to see, right? Because they fall into a certain mind frame that I don't want them to have. So I'm like, let's go to war, Mark. Let's go to war. So
for $67,000.
$67,000.
Like 67 or 67?
67,000.
Oh my!
67,000.
So the whole deal. I worked in 3 years. Except for me tell you, I worked in non-stop for 3 years. I ain't have no house. I ain't have no car. I was saving. When I moved to Florida, I have $110,000 saved. All of it gone. Right. Jesus. And y'all can kill me on this one. So when we move, I do a lot of stuff business-wise, right? So I keep my name on things limited. So she didn't have good credit to get the house. Ashland put her name on the house, which means when she left that house, I could not stop paying that house because Ashland's name was on it, which means her credit. So here I am. I got to pay the house, the empty house, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Asked her, hey, can you shut down the lease?
5-bedroom house. That's not cheap.
No. Luckily, I didn't care about the power and stuff. Right. So, save money there. But I asked her, hey, can you at least, let's do this, like shut this down, because they said we just got to pay 2 months, we can end the lease. No. Because I had to have Ashland and her sign off on it. She's like, no. I said, all right, at this point.
So she's saying, no, I don't want to end the lease, even though the people on the house would let you out.
Yep. But
she's saying no to be vindictive at this point.
100%. So now all she doing, because going to court, I knew that I can display certain things that I did not want to display, right? Like mental health is heavy. Like I believe heavy in mental health. So I'm like, I don't want to have to put that out there, because that courtroom with Justin, I mean, her and other people, and I know they recording and things like that. I didn't want to put it out there, but at this point, I'm sitting there like, you're taking my kindness for a weakness. You don't believe I'm going to do it. So you keep on doing these things. So we go to our first court for temporary custody in October, go in front of the judge. And, my lawyer, Gilbert, he tell the judge rushing her, telling me, yeah, I got to go home. type of thing. I got some stuff going on. So she's like, hey, let's not do the full thing. Each one of y'all got 10 minutes, right? I'm like, 10 minutes? I'm trying to fight for my kids. She give me 10 minutes. I can't do this in 10, right? It was slided for 2 hours.
You go to court, you're slotted for 2 hours. And like,
you think,
I'm going to give you 10 minutes and then I got shit to do.
Yeah, like y'all understand I'm fighting for my kids?
Yeah, they don't care.
Like, I went as far as, look, I knew the judge where we were going. I know the judge went to Ohio State. I got my red on. I did my research. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there like, and the lawyer like, why you wearing that? I said, look, the judge went to Ohio State, blah, blah, blah. Like, I did my research. I'm trying to make sure I get every 1% on my side I need.
Yeah.
And soon as my attorney said, Judge, she moved her to Florida and she was living 16 houses down from him, all that, the judge said, oh, you think you were getting your cake and eat it too? And I'm sitting there like, no, Judge. And then she like,
what did she mean by that?
She was making it seem like, from hearing that one statement, she was making it seem, the judge drew the conclusion in 20 seconds that I was trying to be with my current girl and her at the same time.
Wow.
I was trying to play both sides of the fence, right?
Because what you did doesn't seem logical.
So
in her
as
mind,
I'm
there's
trying
only
to
one
defend
reason you would do
myself,
that.
right? I'm at court, I'm fighting for my kids, I'm trying to defend myself. The judge silenced me. I'm talking. And my attorney said, hey, let her go. Let her talk. I'm sitting there like, Judge, no, that's not what it was. She's like, I'm talking. I don't know where you from or if you ever been in a courtroom like mine, but when I'm speaking, nobody speak, right? She was hard ass. I like, damn. So she going to, my time going, right? So she going to things like, I don't know what, I'm like, man. And, at this point, she also pregnant. She supposed to be having a baby in January. So
the judge.
Yeah, so the hormones
great.
and all, I'm sitting there like, man, everything's trying to work against me and all. So she was like, she was looking to like, you know what? Let's make this simple. You're going to pay $1,500 a month in child support up until we go to the actual court. I'm like, all right. My judge like, Judge, if you don't mind, because she was about to do, Patrice was going for alimony as well, spousal support as well for the time. What saved me on that is, again, like you said, I'm a paralegal in the military. I might do a lot of dumb crap, but I keep evidence of everything, right? So
you keep evidence of all your dumb shit.
Yeah. Well, more other people. I don't got no evidence.
You got none on me.
Nah, so here we go. We played this video that she did from like 2022 or whatever like that. She on Instagram. She did a little video talking about she was at the club and all, and she was talking about, she said something of the nature of, if you ain't making six figure, don't talk to me. I'm a well-kept woman. I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't pay bills. She going to these things, all she don't do. We paid in front of the judge. And the judge like, oh, that's the type of woman you is. Yeah, I'm going to deny spousal support. So I won on that end. She gave me my little time with my kids and all. But yeah, fast forward, we didn't have to go to court. At this point, her parents, I knew when I found out her parents got her a lawyer, I found out how much that lawyer getting paid an hour. I said, I know what I told my attorney, we ain't going to court. I know what to do. He said, what? We're going to dump everything I got. We dumped 1,000 documents on their table and 72 hours of recordings. I received a phone call the next day.
Strategy.
She couldn't afford to go to war. The parents, I already knew her parents are already 40,000 in. They ain't coming from their savings. They coming from their retirement. They 40,000 in. We go to court next week. Yeah, we're gonna make either we're gonna settle or this thing gonna get real nasty for them too. Cause at this point, she not losing anything. It ain't her money. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there like, y'all gonna have to make a real decision. I got 1,000 documents. And at this point, her parents mad because she portrayed me as a certain thing. I got documentation to say otherwise, right? And and this would be on a later pod, so for everybody, check out the next one. But science and like creating people and things like that, it's crazy. But
so where are you all now with it?
Say it again, Darren.
Where are you all now with this whole thing?
So I've been divorced since March.
Are you sure?
Ashland told me
He said, Ashley
3
told me.
times.
Right.
She told me 3 times a week for 3 months straight.
She asked you that same question 3 times?
No, she didn't ask me. She told me. She would call in the courthouse to verify.
Okay.
Yeah, she did it. She did Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week for 3 months. I'm divorced. The best part about it this time is so we filed everything in October of 2024. That's when our 30 days started. So once we signed that settlement paper, it was no 30 days. It was done. She thought it was 30 days because she hit me up like, no, we still got 30 days. Maybe we can work some stuff out. Like, oh,
What?
Oh, no.
No way.
Maybe we can work what out?
Delusion. Like I said, if we would have got to have a whole thing just about who she is as a person, and not as true demeanor or anything like that, but understand mental health is a thing that as a parent, I blame my parents.
So as far as the children, what is your agreement now?
So the dreaming is I could get the kids every spring break. So I structure it so I can win, right? You want to know that I can win because I live in Florida. They live in Hernando, Mississippi. Those flights ain't cheap to get these kids to me. So I needed to see my kids at least once a month type of deal. So what I did was Martin Luther King Day. It's a long weekend, right? So I get the kids Martin Luther King weekend. I get the kids President Day weekend. I get the kids in March for spring break. I get the kids in April for Easter. I get the kids in May for Memorial Day. Then I get the kids in the Friday before Father's Day all the way to the 4th of July. And then I don't get the kids in August. And the reason for that is that's when school starts. I need them to start focusing back on school.
Would you like to have more time with your?
I would love to. So
well, you could create a trust.
I'm working on that right now. But I'm gonna tell you what I did though. I created a business in Memphis, I9. I bought a franchise for I9 Sports in Memphis. So you gotta think ahead, right? So in my divorce papers, I put in there, and they didn't understand why I put it in there. I put in there that any sports they play, it got to go through me. Because she wasn't athletic. That's why I said you weren't athletic. You didn't play any sports or anything like that. So any activity they do that physical, I'm going to pay for it. And as long as it was in 60-mile radius, she got to take them. So I bought a youth sports franchise. I put it in Cordova, and I signed them up for it. So even though the days that I get them, I still can come out here every weekend and coach them on that. So we got
playing chess over here.
Hey, you got to be ahead of the game. So yeah, so we literally just got done last weekend out with them. It wasn't my weekend. However, she got to bring me up there to do it, and then but I probably did something dumb. I go in and put it out there. She worked for that company. I hire her. Right? The reason being she there. So listen. At this point,
bro, I love your heart though, man. It's just
at this point,
it's
my
crazy.
child support $1,300. Right? I
Okay.
haven't gave her anything more than $1,300. That's what it is, right? And we sitting there, and she haven't had a job since she left in August of 2024. She didn't have no job.
So she was allowed to take you through all this hell and still circle back and
I offered it to her. She was there anyway. You might well get paid. I might well put you to work.
I'm guessing your mindset is that if she has money, finish the sentence.
If she have money, then going to my kids, she can take care of the kids, and she ain't asking me for anything.
That's the mindset of someone like myself too. Not to your level, but that's exactly what I think. I'm thinking, well, if you got it, it benefits my children, so... But at the same token, I understand the boundaries that's being crossed there by me offering you a job.
Yeah, but my
and
kids...
she's already shown she had it made in the beginning and still showed you, who she was. And I'm not trying to fuss. I'm just trying to understand. Because, baby...
She definitely don't got it made now. She live with her parents. My kids got bunk beds. They never had bunk beds. They done had their own rooms all their lives and things like that. She had to pay her parents $600 a month. So I'm getting her $1,300. She get them $600. Like they got to get that $40,000 back somehow, right? You know. And so I'm just sitting there like, find a way to get my kids out that house. I can't do it. You know, and
you paying her to work for your company.
Yeah, I'm paying her. Yep. It's just one day out of the week. So it ain't like I ain't paying her much. You know, she make $18 an hour, work 8 hours that day. So you know, it's one of those things that you can say whatever you can say about me. But when people look at who I am, really, you can dog me. But when they come to me, I'm just gonna show. Like the evidence in here, like you gonna look like a fool trying to make me seem like a bad guy. You know, so
nah, you're not a bad guy. One of the books I often reference is the Bible, and one of the things in the Bible says that do not cast your pearls before the swine. Mm-hmm. You know, and oftentimes we do that. Your goodness.
Right.
You know, because everybody's not qualified to have you and have your goodness. I commend you because, as Steph has already said, man, I have a daughter, and I went through some situations, not to that extreme. I will say, I'm not going to sit here and try to out-trauma you because you got me.
Oh, my God.
You got me faded, boy, in that area. But, man, dude, for real, though, you definitely a stand-up guy, but there's definitely some abuse that you are experiencing in just being that good guy, and I believe most of it is self-inflicted.
Oh, 100%. I almost just put myself through it again, and it was last week where I stopped it, right? I constantly, I aim for whatever this delusional belief of something, right? And I'm like, a couple months ago, I thought about, maybe I need to try to get the boys back out here because it's not the best environment for them, right? Like, let me see what I can do to try to get the boys back out here. So then,
Back to Florida.
Okay. So then I was like, private school. Made some phone calls and stuff. So Berkeley Preparatory School is the number 2 private school in Florida, and number 24 in the nation. I can get the boys in. They told me it's gonna be, for the oldest, it's gonna be $32,000 a year. For the 6-year-old, it's gonna be $27,000. I said, I can bust my ass. I can make that work. So I had a conversation with her. I said, I want the boys to go to private school. Hear what the private school is, you know? And I'm like, and she was like, she got to do what she got to do. She agreed to it. She says, hey, I'm gonna save my money. I'm gonna make it happen. We're gonna come back, and all. It's not in the same environment, anything like that. Not even me funding anything. She was like, I'm gonna do it. She, right now she keeps saying, I know I mess up. I know I made mistakes. Blah blah blah, and all that cash talk. I ain't paying attention, none of that. But then, so this was like 2-3 months ago, we having this conversation. Then I was sitting there, I was talking to Ashley. I was like, how is this gonna work? She telling me she got to get a new car. She asked me for $5,000 for a down payment for a new car. I told her no. So in the reason, the $5,000 is, so, on the divorce paper, I had that house in Mississippi, and I told her I only give $5,000 on that house, but I don't got to pay that until like 2 years from now. And even that is not a lump sum, it's just little monthly payments. So she had wanted me to bring that money for it, and I said no. And, I'm jumping a little big on the story because there's so much. But on that piece, in June, I had called, we had the house. We're renting the house. The lease was over in April. I paid a security deposit for it. They sent her my damn check.
Oh, my God.
I called her.
Oh, my God.
And I said, you got that money? She like, it wasn't my name. I said, Patrice, you ain't paid nothing on that house. That was my money. So I'm like, just take it out of that $5,000 because they sent her $2,700. I said, they take out that $5,000. She said, no, that's something totally different. This is my money with my name on the check and all that. I said, done deal. Don't even worry about it. But she the car that she had, that my name was on it, October last year, she let it get repoed. They were at the movies to see Sonic, sitting in the car about to get out, and the repo man pulled up in front of them. My kids in the car, right? She called me crying and all that. I said, I don't know what you wanted me to do. I just gave you, like, I literally had just gave her $3,000. The judge told me to give it to her. So I gave her the money. She got the money. So she had that $3,000, and then like 3 days before that, she got the other $1,500. So she had $4,500 since we went to court, and she didn't pay the car note. They repoed that thing, put my kids in it. They allowed her to drive back to the house and get her stuff out and all, but they took it. So now I got repo in my name. I'm sitting there like, man, everything, like, I'm learning, right? But now we in this situation, so I was telling Ashlyn, like, the kids ain't coming at you. She was like, what you mean? She ain't coming? I said, the kids ain't coming. I need to tell myself that, because I keep on having this delusional belief that I can make all things work. I'm like, I'm not God. I can't make that work. Like, she can't say, I'm like, she need $20,000 to move. Like, she saying that right now she Ubering everywhere because her car that her parent got her had totaled out, and they ain't getting her a new car, and they don't let her drive her car because they don't want her on her insurance. So she Ubering everywhere she go. And I'm sitting there like, so you need $5,000 because you got bad credit. You need $5,000 for a down payment to get a car. All right, that's $5,000. You're going to need first month rent. You're going to need the deposit for a house. You're going to need how to buy furniture and all of that for the house. I said, you're going to need $15,000 to $20,000 to move. Because you got to find a job to be okay, right? You're going to need $15,000 to $20,000 to move. You ain't coming up with that. And I'm like, I can't put myself in this situation. Like, I lost $115,000.
I've been counting.
Yeah, it's $115,000.
You lost over $100,000 all day.
Yeah, right now, like the reason, like
about
right
$7,000 off. My bad.
Hey, I've been having to do things that I probably be sitting back a little bit, collecting my paychecks, but I've been having to get out there hustling and stuff because like my Easter egg is gone. Like, you know.
I got a question for you.
Let me have it.
How have you, from then I guess until now, how have you been supporting your current girlfriend, Ashlyn?
Yeah.
Ashlyn. And I don't mean financially. I mean like mentally and emotionally going through all of this with you.
Not the best. Like I said, I'm not the nurturer type, right? It's hard for me to be that emotional.
What does that mean? Because I know you've been saying like you're not emotional. Okay, well, how do you make her feel safe?
So she loves reassurance and
that's emotional.
Yeah, so
you have more emotion than you think.
No, I'm failing at it.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's okay for me to say like I'm self-aware.
Right, that's appreciated.
We constantly have our issues, and like it was 2 days ago, we had a fight because of it. Like
because of what the lack of support she feels.
Yeah, because she still hold like me. I took it. Once I get shot, I took that bullet, I threw it out, I sewed my own wounds, I'm good. Her, even though it didn't happen directly to her, when that bullet went through me,
she dealing with them casings.
She dealing with it, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's been it's heavy.
It's heavy,
and she didn't leave.
She didn't leave.
So
and also it's a lot on her, and I'm like Mr. DT said, I ain't perfect.
None of us are.
If anything like that, I'm trying to improve on and all. It's that aspect of it, right? To be more understanding that just because I can get over something in a day, she's not. Like, and
also being mindful that she putting the kids to the side. She's watched you go to war in many different areas that wasn't, your war to begin with in the first place. So being able to give her that
she said, she went for you and you being nice to her. I'm like,
and not I mean,
I'm like, I can't, I don't got hatred in me. Like, I just gotta, like, it is what it is. Like, it's fun. He recommended a book series conversation with God, right? I'm not super religious or anything like that. However, I do believe there's core principles that everybody got to have, right? And my thought process on faith and all is just to be good, right? I know right from wrong. I know hatred, I shouldn't have it in me. And I know, like, whoever the higher power is and all that, I ask myself, what would he do in this situation? Will he turn the other cheek and just let it be?
Now, that context of turning the other cheek is not necessarily what people... We'll get into that another day.
I understand.
But it's just...
When it's time to go to war,
I mean, your only
war.
responsibility is to forgive and to love, but that doesn't have to be done in proximity, of course.
Right, and I forgive. Like, I forgave Patrice for everything she done. The moment she do it. Because at that point, I don't think she's sane as she think. I think that she got some mental issues that undiagnosed. And in the black community, I think that's something that most people don't see. Or even when I remember telling my mom that
Bro, you might have some mental issues.
100%. 100%.
Jesus.
You know? I told my mom one day I was going to go to therapy. She said, "You ain't crazy."
And that right there, like, you don't have... I don't like how the black community thinks about mental health and mental health advocacy, because you don't have to be crazy, you know, but also knowing that previous generations suppress so much that they don't even acknowledge where they too, you know, would have needed help in certain areas.
Your nonchalantness is another way of, like she just
defense
said,
mechanism,
right? And suppressing. One day, I mean, God forbid, but one day, man, the last skittle is gonna fall on all the stuff that you holding, and it's gonna fall apart. And I fear what your response would be.
Hey, I go to the gym every day for a reason.
Man, we all have a limit, brother.
Yeah, I
all
totally
that you just
understand.
went through, though.
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm just...
I would have been called some cousins. Like, I'm just
Again, I take my hat off to you on one side of that, but then the other part is I see you being abused.
It ruined some relationships because, like you said, you were calling because I had some people that are like, nah, man, we gotta, like, nah, it's not worth it.
Then I would have just not told you about it.
And this is just half of the story, maybe even less than half of the story.
Yeah,
so
we got here for a reason, you know?
Yeah. So I think that's a good place to end it because this has been really good. I thank you so much for sharing. It's been really entertaining, and we got to get you back so you can tell us the prequel to this because, you know, I think this goes back to who is this person, and I think you know more than most. I think you know more than the parents.
Hey.
And I think that would be because there's some things that I've heard about that as well that's just blown my mind. Where some of it I was just laughing hysterically because I was like, "You're just making this shit up. There's no way." But yeah, I think it's a good spot to end it. I thank you, James. I thank you, DT. I thank you, Simone, for being here. Now we have a tradition on the show to where one of you three is going to do the outro. Just read the outro notes as we leave the show, doing an impression.
And before this ends, I just want to say, I commend you for constantly pursuing a relationship with your children. I know they're young right now, and although they understand a little, I know they'll understand more and appreciate more when they're older. And I literally say this as a mom with kids where the dad isn't involved, and knowing that, you know, one day I'm going to have those hard conversations. So seeing kids grow up and them being able to look back and see, you know, like, my dad did try, or my dad did do a lot. Yeah, it doesn't matter what decisions you made. It's the fact that you put forth the effort. And I want you to know that no matter what you've been through, that will never be forgotten. It will be appreciated in just a few years, but I commend you on that, and most definitely still commend you on your heart. Don't allow the ignorance of others to harden that. And just don't buy nobody else any more clothes.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. I don't wrote it down.
And I need you to love on Ashlyn now. She been rocking with you. And then just had a new baby too. So I can only imagine the postpartum feels plus. You know, going, you know what y'all been through. So, like, seriously though, I commend you and still give her all the reassurance that she needs.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Take it away, Simone.
I'm way too shy for this. Okay. Please support us by following the show. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next week when we share conversations surrounding real issues we deal with every day. I don't like how I said that. Manhood matters. We're out.
All right, let's do it.
Echoes of fine time, experts and friends, a powerful blend, tackling issues that never end. From our perspective, raw and true, a podcast for